War. War never changes. We have fought war for millennia, and World War II was the deadliest conflict in human history. Released on November 11th, 2008 as a successor to one of the most influential, overrated, and frankly garbage-ass games of all time, COD 4, Call of Duty 5 World at War is possibly one of my favorite games ever. It's gritty, brutal, and frankly still looks good about 15 years later. That's right, some of you watching this video, this game's older than you are. How does that make you feel? You start off in this little shack. You and your friend have been apparently captured by the Japanese Imperial Army, and frankly are brutal as hell. You are about to get killed. Your buddy just got killed, and suddenly you get rescued by this dickhead who you're frankly going to be taking orders from most of the damn game, at least in this part of the campaign. You grab their guns and you shoot your way out of the island and make way on a raft. The next time we see our protagonist, Private Miller, is in the next mission in the Pacific campaign, which is called Little Resistance. You're on this boat, or landing thing, and you appear to be in Normandy. Not as it seems, though. Actually, you don't get to land in Normandy at all, which for a World War II game you think would be bad, but honestly it's an overdone trope. Not that many people landed there compared to the amount of soldiers that were stationed everywhere in World War II. Your job is to clear these bunkers, and they give you guns for this. However, this game has this weird way of making overpowered guns feel like they're absolutely worthless. In certain situations, this gun that I'm holding now would be great. However, here it's dog shit. It does almost nothing. You're basically forced to either take the enemy's guns or find something better. There are secret little areas hidden all throughout the game with better guns that would much more well suit this situation. So, now we get into the next mission in the Pacific Theater, which is basically like the same too. Feel like a badass, kill enemies, clear the place. Alright, it's not that hard to think about. Now we're going to get into the part that I'm scared to edit, but is also probably the strongest point of this game's campaign. Wait, hold up. Pause. Time out. Am I allowed to talk about this? Okay. Yeah, but... Alright. I've been told I'm allowed to talk about this, but I'm hesitant to given the current political climate. However, this is a really good part of the game, so I will not leave it out. The Soviet campaign of World at War is a fucking masterpiece. It is a slow, but ultimately very hot burn. In this mission, you start out slow. Not even at 3 degrees yet, just slightly warming up. Not 3 degrees Celsius or Fahrenheit, we use Kelvin. That's a Soviet measurement or something. This is a sniping and stealth mission. A little bit of running. You start out by sniping these dudes right here. And then you have to go sneak away. You're chased by some German shepherds or some shit. And then you gotta snipe this guy right here. This is a really hard part to do, but is very fun. I mean, killing this man while he's behind a truck. Holy shit. was I on hype right here. My god. Next mission of the Soviet campaign, you are again captured by the enemy. This time it's the Germans, and you're also not Private Miller, but someone named Sergeant Pichentrov or something. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm not going to try. I might offend someone. But you're rescued by this man, who you were introduced to in the last campaign, but this is a better place to introduce him. Here. Sergeant Reznov. What an amazing character this person is. He is this game's Voss Montenegro, even though he is not an enemy. He is on your side constantly. However, his actions make you question whether you are the good or the bad guy constantly. The way he talks, the things he says, the things he does. It makes you question if you're really fighting on the right side of the war or not. This is the part of the game where you as a Soviet are using Molotovs to burn down the wheat fields. You're also given this gun right here, the FG-42. This is a great weapon. It's like 2 shots all the time. You are never explicitly given this gun. Enemies don't drop it. It just appears in the world in these secret little locations. If you find it, it is absolutely worth picking up. By God, it is a 2-shot weapon to the chest and a 1 shot to the head. Honestly, I don't know why this didn't take off in multiplayer. I want to make one thing clear right now. The American missions are not bad story or gameplay-wise. Yeah, the Russian missions are better story-wise and have better gameplay, but the American missions are not bad in the slightest. Burnout is a perfect example of that. You're set on an island, you're given a flamethrower, and your objective is to burn out the enemy. You can actually set them on fire and they will scream to death. This is not a pretty mission in the slightest to do. You see people get killed by these traps that the Japanese have set, and you're the one whose job it is to prevent these traps from going off by setting trees on fire to kill snipers and to set the enemy on fire to kill them as well. You're running and gunning. You have to rely on your flamethrower, but not all that much. The flamethrower in this game is good. It just does not have very much range. In fact, compared to other weapons in the game, it is absolutely pathetic when it comes to range. It is still a very viable weapon. If they get hit by this thing, they will die. Mission after Burn 'em Out is also a really fun mission. Not as fun as Burn 'em Out, but it is still pretty fun. Story-wise, it's not as compelling. However, it makes up with that in gameplay. You're given a Browning M1919, which is a machine gun. Doesn't have as much of a fire rate as the submachine guns in this game do, or even the MG42. But it still is a pretty damn good weapon. It does oodles of damage, but like every weapon in World at War, it is one of those guns that when you're given it in a mission, it's one of those missions that makes an overpowered gun feel underpowered. Blood and Iron is a mission. It is not a good mission, it's not a bad mission, it's just a mission. Every game has this mission that is the worst mission in the game. Everyone does, alright? This shows World at War's age. It doesn't handle all that well. You get put in a tank, which you think is great, but it's actually terrible. It is incredibly slow, the controls are really janky, and not only that, but this is the most brittle you feel throughout the entire game, even though you're in what's supposed to be an incredibly overpowered thing. There are a bunch of invisible barriers. The tank doesn't handle all that well, at least on mouse and keyboard. I assume on a D-pad or controller, this would feel better. But for what I was doing, it did not feel good at all. Anyway, so what you do is you blow stuff up, you set enemies on fire, and yay, mission over. Ring of Steel is the turning point in this game. It's where you stop being the hunted and become the hunter. The Germans are on the run. You are no longer on the run from them. In this mission, you get to see the Russians commit actual war crimes against the Germans, including burning them alive. Now, you can't just stand around and watch them do it, or you can join in yourself and have Reznov cheer you on through the radio or right next to you, depending on where his location is. You also get this weapon right here. Now, I'll talk more about this later, but for right now, just remember this, alright? This submachine gun. Now here we have a vehicle mission that doesn't suck. You see, in a lot of these FPS games like Call of Duty, Battlefield, Overwatch, etc., the vehicles feel like shit. They weren't meant to be driven. And that's where this comes in. This isn't a vehicle mission where you're driving. You are in a plane and you're gunning down the enemy PG boats and blowing up all this shit. At the same time, you're rescuing people out of the water. Another thing I'd like to say about this mission is, I just wanted to say how amazing the soundtrack in this game is. I'll let you listen to this for a bit, and by God, this isn't even the best one. No, Heart of the Reich has the best soundtrack by far, and this isn't even the best one right here. Now, the mission after Black Cats, which is called Blowtorch and Corkscrew, I didn't have much to say about. There wasn't many things interesting going on with it. It does everything World at War does in the American campaign well. So I figured I'd leave that out, let you experience it. However, Breaking Point does do a lot of interesting things. You do start out with two really overpowered guns. Well, sort of. You have to go get them for yourself, since you are shit out of luck when it comes to ammo. So for a little while, you're just running for your ammunition. Then you get to storm this castle. Now this castle has a really, really good layout. World at War has really good level design, but this mission right here is the one I wanted to focus in on. It has tight corridors combined with open fields, which makes you feel like you're actually in a war zone. More importantly, you're getting these. These you can use in multiplayer, if you can get multiplayer to work. We'll talk about that later. And then, this is the end of the American campaign, where you're in the last holdout situation, destroying the entire castle with bombs and whatnot. I'm clumping these two missions together because they fit so seamlessly with each other. At the end of one is the start of another. Story-wise, they fit perfectly, and gameplay-wise, they do as well. I understand why they split them up, which was because one long mission that took like what, an hour, would have been too much for a casual player to handle. I get that. All right. These are the last two missions of World at War. There is nothing more after this. And there's no more to learn in these missions. This is the penultimatum and end of the game. You learn everything you've learned so far from Reznov and that one asshole American. You get to use in this mission. Now, I want to also talk about this thing that I had to edit out. Now, when I say this, I'm saying this because I have to. I had to edit this out so much that took up most of my time editing. Alright? I'm not even allowed to say what it is on the internet. I will just call it a modified square. Alright? There is a ton of these modified squares everywhere, especially in the mission Downfall. Alright? At the end of the mission Downfall is the end of the game. All of it led up to this point. You plant the flag at the top of this building, and you claim glory for the Soviet Union. That's it. Game over. Wow, I'm sure glad that's over. Man, that was a long recording process. Wait a minute. Hold up. This is the campaign. What's going on? I'm not going to sugarcoat this. You have been baited and deceived. Yeah, I really do believe that World at War has the best World War II campaign, but that's not what this game is special for. Or special to me, at least. This game, Treyarch, and Call of Duty in general, has such a pedigree because of this one game mode. Zombies. You start off in a map that is probably one of the most iconic names I will ever say. In German. Nacht der Untoten. There is no clear goal other than to survive. There is no winning. There is only loss. You can go as high as you want, and at the end, you're still gonna die. And that is true with every zombies map in this game. Untoten is a pretty harsh map. There is nothing to help you other than these mysterious weapons that you can magically buy off the wall, and this one box that you can get random weapons from, and oh god, yes! This right here, what you're looking at, ladies and gentlemen, is probably one of the most iconic, nay, the most iconic weapon in all of video gaming. The ray gun. And it feels good to use. Now this game, like every COD game, has DLCs. Unlike most COD games, though, this one only has 3 DLCs. Which is okay, because you get 4 awesome, amazing zombies maps with this. The next one you get is called Verrückt. This is a scary-ass map. I remember playing this for the first time as a kid, and I was crying because I didn't understand where the screams were coming from, or what the hell was going on in this asylum in general. Now, you do get some upgrades from Nacht der Untoten, like these traps, which I'm not going to show you how to use, and these perks that help you gain advantage over the zombies. Juggernog gives you more hits so that you don't go down as easier. Double tap makes you have a faster fire rate. Quick revive in this game does nothing because it doesn't work in solo. And speed cola makes you reload faster. No Numa, the second DLC. This is possibly the most broken map in all of Call of Duty Zombies in every possible way. Alright, first of all, you have this guy right here, which you can throw grenades at. And I encourage you, when you throw the grenades at him, and he gets face planted on the floor, to go ahead and teabag him, because that will give you a secret Easter egg item that will help you in your quest to kill the zombies. You also got some of the most broken traps in this game, which I couldn't show you because of something else that's broken in zombies. The knifing. This is the single jankiest knife mechanic I have ever used. You shove into the zombies, and half the time you miss, and they'll two-hit you, and you'll go down. So, I just said, fuck it, I'm giving up. I'm going on to the next map. Doris. In this map, you're finally given a goal. A goal that won't help you exactly win the game, but it'll help you fight off the zombies and keep going. The Pack-a-Punch. Now, to get to the Pack-a-Punch, first you have to turn on the power, and then you have to use all these teleporters, and you have to save up enough money, which I didn't end up doing. Now, only if there was a way to get around all this BS with all this zombies jankiness and still show off new mechanics of the game. That's right! I'd be lying to you if I said that mods weren't a reason that this game has such a massive fan base, or why it survived this long with this dedicated of a player base. Well, it's because they're fucking awesome. Right here is one of my favorite mods. It is just the most casual ever zombies map. No BS. It fixed a lot of the issues regular World at War had. The perks actually work, which means quick revive works, and double tap isn't a complete waste of money. And not only that, but here you can finally see the Pack-a-Punch with this weapon I was talking about earlier, PPSH, or should I call it the Reaper. This is possibly the most overpowered weapon in all of zombies. This is on. Look at the round. Look at the round and look how much ass it's kicking on this high of a round. It kicks this much ass normally. This is a submachine gun. It is not designed. It wasn't meant to be this good, but it is. The conclusion of the video is this. World at War is a great game. I intentionally left out a lot because I want you to explore it. And don't try to play this with your friends, because the multiplayer doesn't work unless you have an account of a certain age and you bought it before Black Ops 3 came out like I did. Anyways, that's all I got for today. This video took too long to edit. Next week I'm going to make a video that somewhat relates to this and is easier